Ever wondered what happens when humanity finally breaks the chains of Earth's gravity well? The Titanfall universe gives us a glimpse into that future, where mankind's ambition to conquer the stars led to technological marvels beyond imagination. Jump drives transformed space travel from decades-long journeys to mere moments, allowing humanity to spread across countless worlds, in both the orderly core systems and the wild, untamed frontier territories that beckoned with promise and danger in equal measure. But where humans go, conflict follows, like an unwelcome shadow that stretches longer with each passing light year traveled. The corporate giants who funded this expansion, particularly Hammond Robotics with their revolutionary exoskeleton technology, saw these new worlds not as homes, but as resources to be exploited. As settlers sought freedom in the far reaches of space, the seeds of rebellion were planted in fertile soil, watered by the blood of those who would resist the coming storm of corporate rule and advanced AI that would forever change the face of futuristic combat throughout human space. You've probably heard whispers about the legendary Dr. Heinrich Hammond, the man who changed humanity's destiny when he stumbled upon that mysterious element that supercharged our technology. What started as a humble mining operation quickly evolved into Hammond Robotics, the corporation that would eventually hold the future of warfare in its mechanical grip. Their early exoskeleton suits might seem primitive compared to the Vanguard-class Titans we know today, but they represented the first steps in a technological revolution that would reshape guerrilla warfare across the stars. The irony, of course, is that Titans were never meant for battle at all. These magnificent mechs were designed to help colonists tame the hostile environments of frontier planets, agricultural workhorses, and construction giants that could move mountains. But military minds quickly recognized how a 20-foot battle mech with advanced AI integration could change battlefield tactics forever. The transition from peaceful tools to instruments of planetary destruction happened faster than a jump drive could calculate its fold coordinates, setting the stage for the Titan Wars that would eventually engulf both the Outlands and core systems in flames. Few entities in human history have wielded power like the Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation, the behemoth that grew from Hammond's ambitious seeds. Controlling the jump drive technology that made interstellar colonization possible gave the IMC unprecedented leverage over humanity's expansion into the stars. Imagine holding the keys to every doorway between worlds. That's essentially what the IMC accomplished, transforming from a mere corporation into a de facto government whose influence stretched across thousands of light years of core system space through corporate rule and military might. What most history books won't tell you is how the IMC's board of directors manipulated interstellar markets, creating artificial scarcities that forced developing frontier worlds into dependency. Their strategy was brilliant and ruthless: establish monopolies on essential technologies, then gradually tighten their grip until resistance became nearly impossible. The corporation's logo became as recognizable as ancient Earth flags once were, emblazoned on everything from specters patrolling settlement streets to the massive starships that enforced the IMC's will through advanced AI warfare systems that made conventional military resistance seem futile. If you've ever faced a squadron of specters in the tight corridors of a derelict space station, you know the cold efficiency of the IMC's automated warfare program. These sleek killing machines revolutionized how conflicts were managed throughout the core systems, replacing fallible human soldiers with precisely calibrated instruments of corporate policy enforcement. The beauty of their design, if you can call death beautiful, lay in their networked intelligence and unwavering loyalty to their programming, making them perfect for urban pacification and the suppression of rebellious elements on planets chafing under IMC control. But true power in this militarized future belonged to an elite few, the pilots who neurally linked with their titans, creating symbiotic relationships that transcended normal battle tactics. Imagine feeling every step of a 20-ton mech as if it were your own body, while executing parkour maneuvers with an exoskeleton that made gravity seem like a mere suggestion rather than a law. These warriors, trained in facilities hidden throughout the frontier, could single-handedly turn the tide of futuristic combat scenarios that would have required entire battalions in earlier eras, a fact that the IMC exploited to maintain their dominance despite growing resistance from those who dreamed of freedom. Let me tell you about the early days on the frontier, a time when brave colonists traded the comfortable certainties of the core systems for the wild promise of untamed worlds. The IMC's veteran program seemed generous on paper. Land grants on virgin planets, reasonable mortgages and business loans to establish new lives far from corporate oversight. But what those recruitment ads conveniently omitted was mention of the Leviathans, massive creatures whose very movement could disrupt jump drive calculations, or the vicious prowlers that hunted in packs and could tear through standard issue exoskeletons like they were made of paper. Despite these challenges, human ingenuity prevailed, as it always does when our backs are against the wall. Settlements flourished, developing their own unique cultures far from the homogenized society of the core systems. For a while, it seemed like humanity had found a new frontier to conquer, much like their ancestors who tamed the American West centuries earlier. Then came 2442, a year etched into every frontier child's memory, when distant corporate wars forced the IMC to abruptly withdraw their titans, specters, and protection, leaving colonists to face the alien technology and hostile wildlife of the Outlands alone, unknowingly setting the stage for the rebellion that would shake civilization to its core. You think the IMC just forgot about those resource-rich frontier planets during their 2-century absence? Hell no. They were just licking their wounds and biding their time. When they finally returned in the 27th century, they came with a fleet of upgraded titans and an army of corporate lawyers, claiming that the descendants of original settlers owed ancestral debts plus interest. It was the most brazen example of corporate rule in human history, and it sparked what historians now call the Titan Wars, a conflict that would redefine guerrilla warfare tactics and challenge the very nature of space travel between the frontier and core systems. The militia's early days were rough. Just picture farmers and miners going up against professionally trained IMC pilots with their neural-linked battle mechs and advanced AI support systems. But human adaptability is a hell of a thing, especially when backed into a corner at Demeter Station or other strategic locations. They started hijacking IMC Titans, reverse engineering the technology, and developing devastating anti-Titan weapons like the mag launcher that could punch through even the heaviest armor plating. The resistance that began as scattered bands of colonists evolved into something the IMC's battlefield simulations had never predicted. An organized force, driven by something more powerful than corporate profit margins, the human desire for freedom. Ever wondered what happens when the line between human and machine gets so blurred that even the most advanced AI can't tell the difference? That's what the IMC's Simulacra program was all about. The ultimate backup system for their most valuable assets. Imagine having your consciousness digitally preserved and transferred into a robotic body after your biological one fails in battle. Former pilots like Ash and Revenant didn't just cheat death, they transcended it, becoming something beyond human that could operate in environments that would kill an organic Titan pilot instantly during the Titan Wars. But what the IMC's scientists at Hammond Robotics didn't anticipate were the psychological consequences of existing as a digital ghost in a mechanical shell. The identity crises were devastating, with simulacra experiencing memory loops, personality fractures, and existential breakdowns that threatened their effectiveness in futuristic combat scenarios. The corporation's solution? The ego retention system. A brilliant but ethically questionable program that essentially gaslighted these digital consciousnesses into believing they were still human, still flesh and blood instead of circuits and exoskeleton frames. This technological marvel kept their simulacra soldiers fighting, but at what cost to whatever remained of their humanity? If you think humanity invented the most powerful weapons in the galaxy, let me tell you about what the IMC's Ares division stumbled upon in the caves of Typhon. Ancient ruins, predating human space travel by millennia, housed technology so advanced it made our jump drives look like steam engines. The centerpiece? The Ark, a mysterious artifact glowing with energy that defied conventional physics, capable of folding space-time like you'd fold a piece of paper to connect two distant points. Imagine holding the power to collapse the vast distances between stars in the palm of your hand. That's what the IMC discovered among the remnants of a civilization that had mastered the cosmos long before we left Earth. What the corporate executives at Hammond Robotics saw wasn't a scientific marvel to be studied or an archaeological treasure to be preserved. They saw a weapon of planetary destruction that could end the militia's rebellion in a single devastating strike. The fold weapon they designed around the Ark could literally tear worlds apart, targeting the malicious stronghold of Harmony from across the frontier. The alien technology they harnessed wasn't just advanced, it was transformative, shifting warfare from battles over territory to battles over existence itself. For the IMC, it wasn't enough to defeat their enemies through conventional battle tactics anymore. They sought to erase them completely from the cosmic equation. Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you never made it into the official IMC reports. Operation Broadsword wasn't just another militia mission. It was the most audacious guerrilla warfare operation ever conceived in the frontier wars. At its center stood an unlikely pair, Jack Cooper, a rookie rifleman thrust into the role of pilot, and BT-7274, a Vanguard-class Titan whose advanced AI had evolved beyond its programming. Together, they did the impossible, infiltrated the most heavily guarded IMC facilities on Typhon, outmaneuvering Spectres and enemy pilots while uncovering the corporation's plans for the fold weapon. The time gauntlet they discovered along the way was like something straight out of science fiction, even in a world already filled with jump drives and simulacra technology. This alien artifact allowed its user to manipulate time itself, creating pockets where past and present overlapped, giving Cooper tactical advantages that even the most advanced exoskeleton couldn't match. When the militia launched its desperate assault against the Draconis to capture the Ark, the battlefield became a chaos of time-shifted realities and futuristic combat, unlike anything seen before. The sacrifice that followed, BT launching itself into the fold weapon's core, proved that even in this age of advanced AI and mechanical warfare, the most human quality of all, self-sacrifice, remained the most powerful force in the universe. The destruction of Demeter Station was like watching a giant fall in slow motion, a pivotal moment that changed the balance of power throughout the frontier. Without this crucial refueling hub, the IMC's supply lines were severed, cutting off few reinforcements from the core systems and leaving their remaining forces stranded among hostile worlds. What followed wasn't just a military defeat, but a complete collapse of corporate rule that had seemed unshakable for generations. Hammond Robotics' stock plummeted, IMC commanders went rogue, and the carefully constructed empire of exploitation began crumbling like a house of cards in the vacuum of space. Nature abhors a vacuum, and power is no different, especially in the lawless regions of the Outlands. As the IMC's grip loosened, new players emerged from the shadows, each with their own vision for the future of space travel and governance. Vincent Dynamics swept in to fill the technological void, salvaging Vanguard blueprints to create the Monarch Titans that soon dominated battlefields across contested worlds. Former IMC territories fragmented into fiefdoms controlled by warlords with stolen Spectres and mercenary pilots, utilizing battle tactics that blended old-school warfare with cutting-edge mech technology, creating a patchwork of conflicts where yesterday's enemies became today's uneasy allies in a post-IMC galaxy. The Apex games didn't just appear out of nowhere after the dust of the Frontier Wars settled. They evolved from the chaos, like a strange flower blooming in the crater of a bomb blast. With the IMC's power shattered and Hammond Robotics struggling to maintain relevance, a new form of entertainment and combat emerged in the Outlands, drawing former pilots, mercenaries, and even simulacra looking for purpose in a post-war galaxy. Behind it all stood Kuben Blisk, the legendary IMC mercenary who once hunted militia fighters across the stars, now reinvented as the commissioner of the bloodiest sport ever conceived. A battle royale where exoskeleton-enhanced combatants fought for glory, riches, and the attention of billions. What makes the game so fascinating isn't just the spectacle of advanced AI and time manipulation technology used for entertainment rather than warfare. It's the stories of the legends themselves. Each competitor brings their own connection to the Titanfall universe. Wraith with her phase shift abilities derived from pilot tech, Pathfinder searching for his creator amid the ruins of the frontier, or Ash transformed from a fallen pilot into a simulacra with fragmented memories of the Titan Wars. These intersecting narratives create a living museum of humanity's interstellar conflicts, preserving the legacy of jump drive innovation and alien technology that changed human destiny, even as new threats emerge from the shadows of forgotten worlds in the far reaches of the Outlands. Want to know what really sets the Titanfall universe apart from other sci-fi visions of humanity's future? It's not just the Titans or the advanced AI systems. It's how authentically it captures the eternal human struggle between corporate greed and the basic desire for freedom. The IMC didn't set out to become villains. They simply followed the logical progression of unchecked capitalism into the stars, where planetary destruction became an acceptable cost of doing business. Meanwhile, the militia weren't flawless heroes, but desperate colonists using guerrilla warfare tactics and stolen technology to protect their homes from forces that saw them as negligible entries on a balance sheet. This ambiguity is what makes the universe so damned compelling, like looking into a mirror that reflects both the best and worst of human potential. The technological marvels of Hammond robotics and the spectacular combat mechanics of pilot warfare are just the glossy surface of a narrative that asks deeper questions about our relationship with technology and each other. While Apex Legends continues to expand this rich tapestry of interconnected stories in the Outlands, fans wait with bated breath for Titanfall 3 to emerge from the silence, hoping it will provide answers about the Ark's mysterious origins or whether BT's consciousness somehow survived inside Cooper's helmet. Until then, this unfinished symphony of space travel, rebellion, and mechanical evolution remains one of gaming's most captivating universes. So, was your mind completely blown by these revelations about the Titanfall universe? If you thought this was intense, you haven't seen anything yet. The video appearing on your screen right now dives even deeper into the classified IMC documents that reveal the true purpose behind the Simulacra program. And trust me, it's far darker than Hammond Robotics ever admitted publicly. Are you brave enough to discover the truth that's been hiding in plain sight all along? What do you think really happened to BT's consciousness after the destruction of the Fold weapon? Was the Ark truly alien technology, or something even more sinister from humanity's own past? Drop your theories in the comments below. I read every single one, and we'll be featuring the most mind-blowing theories in our next deep dive. If you're as obsessed with uncovering the hidden connections between the Titanfall universe and Apex Legends as I am, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell right now. The IMC might control the jump drives, but we control the truth. And I'll see you in the next video, pilot.